Well, welcome to Poetry Street. I'm so happy to have you here. Maggie and I are very, very, very excited to have our three featured poets today. We have open mic after the poetry features. The open mic rules are that you get up to 3 minutes to read your poem. We recommend that you leave off that title in the beginning because we just want to get to that poem. Our first feature, Mary Seymour, is a passionate and dedicated advocate for the creative artist community. Director, dramatist, and educator, she is president of the Grammy Award-winning music publishing company, A Dish of Tunes, LLC. Mary is on the board of directors of the Adolco Awards Audience Development Committee and Hands Across Long Island. Her Broadway credits include the original production of Hair, co-starring roles in Raisin the Musical, and she graduated summa cum laude from Stony Brook University and holds a BA degree in Africana Studies, playwriting, AS degree in directing playwriting, highest distinction, Yale University, Theater Directing Project. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Seymour. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Yes, and Mary and I also went to Suffolk County Community College together.
Yeah.
Which, I love saying I got my start at Suffolk, even though it took me 30 years to get there. But I got there and I'm so happy for that. Okay, Mary, the floor is all yours.
Okay. The first piece is, I am but one voice. I am the voice of a Black woman caught between youth and old age. I am the voice of an angry bird that can't understand the video app. I am the voice of all the ancestors who walked before me. I am the enslaved girl who lost her life by the hand of a slave master. I am the living impression of everything I have ever thought. I am the voice that called messages across the Niagara River. I am a mother, wife, grandmother, life. My second piece is, thank you, choose, chose. I chose to believe whatever I choose to believe. I chose not to care what you think about this poem. Interesting? For feelings are me, the totally unique member of humankind, chosen to be on this planet for 1 second at this time. Don't want to rhyme. I chose to use this time wisely as wise. I chose not to blame my parents, husband, children, grandchildren for what I will or will not achieve in life. I chose to see the beauty in everything that is beautiful, determined by my standard and not others. I chose to get excited and smile when music takes over for 1 moment. I chose to be proud of my Black skin and kinky hair. I chose to embrace the history of my ancestors with love and respect. I chose to liberate what I choose from the layers of conditioning that have imposed on my choosing. I chose to be the educated Black woman, understanding the complexities of my Blackness. When I choose not to impress, just write what's right for me. I chose to love the energy of honest love. I chose to write and write until the chosen truth in my soul. Maybe the first step I chose to be.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mary, do you have another one?
One more.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, I would like for Maggie just to wave her hand.
Welcome, everybody. I'm observing.
That's enough. Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. And is Susan Dingo around?
I will be reading a poem for Maggie today.
Excellent.
Maggie's for Maggie. And I'm
Excellent.
so happy to be here and happy holidays to everybody.
I was wondering, can you send, can we support Poetry Street with donations, like a holiday donation, or just, is it not like that?
And anyone that wants to send donations, we really appreciate that. And that would be very, very nice.
Chip, because my understanding is you've been going for how many years? Not 10 years. How long has Poetry Street been alive?
Poetry Street has been alive for 7 years.
Wow.
7 years.
We are actually the longest running open mic poetry community on Long Island. So we're happy about that.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Mary. Thank you so much, Gwen. Really appreciate you. And we have Mary back. By the way, Mary is also a member of Musique, famous for the song In the Bush. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Mary Seymour.
This piece, I love art and I love going to museums, and there was a famous artist by the name of Romar Bearden. He did a watercolor called Jefferson's Coolie Evening Guitar, and I feel that paintings, of course, have words in them as we look at them. So when I looked at this wonderful painting of this handsome, shiny Black man playing this guitar in Romer's painting, I wrote this poem. Movement, impulse, feeling in my hands, old, young, tired hands, music. Guitar talks, don't need to play, just close my eyes and fingers fly. Close my eyes, play this, play that. See, I don't play guitar. Guitar plays me fine. Fine, guitar plays me fine. Music just come, don't know how. Music just come. Just close my eyes and fingers fly. Close my eyes and fingers fly. Smiling, rocking, clapping in time. See fingers fly. Starts to sing new song. Close my eyes. Singing this time. Words just come, don't know how. Words just come, don't care how. Guitar say slow. Guitar say go. Guitar plays me fine.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mary. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Our next featured poet is Bill Batcher. He's a retired teacher who now lives in Greenport, New York. He has 3 books of poetry, all available on Amazon. And Bill, I would love for you to tell us about your books when you're ready, doing your presentation. Thank you so much, Bill. Bill Batcher.
Okay.
Oh, also, I do want to mention Bill was on the radio yesterday. I don't know if you had the opportunity to hear him. He was on WLIW with Gianna Volpe. 88.3 is NPR station during their fundraiser. And we support NPR and Gianna Volpe, and we were so happy to be on with Bill and with James Banks from the AAECF. And for anyone who doesn't know that, what that is the African American Educational and Cultural Festival. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you one of my favorite poets, Bill Batcher.
Okay, thank you, Chip.
You're welcome.
This one is called December Melancholy. The wind is brisk, the air is cold, winter has begun. The night is long, we witness dawn too close to setting sun. Why bother with the daily chores? Why shake out the lead? Why venture into out of doors? Why not remain in bed?
Nice.
This is called Getting It Perfect. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and littering the floor were the crumpled up rejects of Clement Seymour. Iambic, and all was still within the house. No creature stirred except the mouse. Trochaic, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donder, Blitzen, looking out on moonlit snow, object soon appeared below. Dactyl, Santa was dressed up in soot-covered furriness, winking and smiling, he banished my wariness. Spondaic, steeds, go, wall, whoa, now, fly, up, high. Anapestic, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. Yes, Clement, you know anapestic is right. And so, Merry Christmas. Now have a good night. This is at the card store. Season's greetings, happy holiday, best wishes. Which card do I select? Wishing a Merry Christmas is not politically correct. Okay, change of pace. This is We Do Not Know. We do not know when Christmas was. The scripture doesn't say. It could have been December, yes, or June. In winter, Christmas carries a kerosene lantern to light the path, blazing a new trail through virgin snow, and wears a woolen coat and snuggles us inside. In spring, Christmas is born again in the scarlet tanager's nest, and peeping purple crocuses while warming breeze revives us. In summer, Christmas wades in soothing ponds and basks in warm, renewing sun, then grabs us by the hand and bounds barefoot across a meadow. In autumn, Christmas spreads the table with succotash, butternut squash, and cranberry sauce, and nourishes our souls. This is from my own memories of growing up. I was the youngest of 5 kids. Thanks for a Monopoly board with missing deeds, for an ugly Christmas ball, not thrown out, but hung on the back of the tree, for ripping, wrapping paper, tangled tinsel, for sisters home from college, hand-knitted sweaters, neck too tight, for dawn time peeking raids. Thanks. This is after snowfall. The snow quit falling yesterday. I see the morning sun has baked a crust so thick a pair of hungry cardinals who pick for seeds don't leave a trace. Not so for me, who cannot hide my footfalls as I go to feed their feeder. Every step declares a crunch, which echoes in the oaks and scares the very birds I've come to help. The snow now bears a trail of holes I cannot hide, proof that someone made the trek outside. Soon both the sun and temperature will rise, and all those cavities will grow in size. So if you come to check late in the day, you'll swear a mighty giant passed this way. Okay. Should I go on, Chip?
Yes, Bill, you have a couple more, that'd be great.
Okay, two more. When I was just a young and green, every year I met began 19. As every new year spoke its name, its first two digits were the same. How odd, I thought, but did not say, to start a year another way. But then a mystery I'd hear about a different kind of year. In ancient times, when asked to state its name, a year would start 1-8. How strange that seemed. Yet some I knew claimed it was completely true. Indeed, my father, when a lad, had met a few. He swore he had. I never dreamed I could have seen the last of years that start 19. But they're all gone. Now I can say to youngins who should pass my way, especially on New Year's Eve, who listen like it's make-believe and giggle like I'm making fun, I've met some years that start with 1. And this one is called January 1st. Aspirated short A, ha! Anticipatory pause, smile, P New Year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate you. Your poems are really interesting because they talk about nature and all sorts of things. And we really appreciate that. And we appreciate you sharing this. Again, for those of you who wish to sign up for our open mic, which will be coming up next after our next feature, we ask that you please put your name and the location, your location in the chat to everyone. Thank you so much. Our next poet feature is Alexa Bello. Beautiful, wonderful lady inside and out. Alexa shares her faith with others through poetic form. As an educator and the founder of Modern Day Psalmist, she uses her gift to inspire and encourage others to do the same. And also, I would like to mention that Alexa has helped us out many times sharing her poetry on special events. We did a show with Legitimate Matters, which will feature soon on the Jam Network. We're so pleased to have Alexa Bello back. Alexa Bello, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Chip, and hello to everyone on Poetry Street. I'm very grateful to be here and in company of Mary and Bill. Thank you for sharing your poems. And I only have 3 for you today. I have 2 that I did in the past and 1 new one that's recent. So. 1 drop was all it took, and the earth shook. Onlookers jeered and vicious tongues spit hateful lies, while mother, sister, brothers' hearts cried out for the one that died, for you and you and you. 1 drop would drip, drip, drip as a trail of crimson followed his battered, bruised, and bloodied back that carried the world's weight to Golgotha. It took just 1 drop to delete the sin of history. It was such a mystery. Enlightened men will question how, but darkness in their hearts will not allow their minds to comprehend the width, the length, the depth, the height of Christ's sacrifice. His pierced side flowed blood and water, cleansing deeper, stronger, harder, further than we could ever conceive. Now, do you believe? Jesus said we must confess, trust, and receive. He's done the rest to make you whole and set you free. Do not be deceived, for tomorrow is not guaranteed. For those who do not know, there is 1 way, 1 truth, 1 life, and 1 drop. He's paid the price. But all God's wants from us right now is everything He's given. his life for yours, your life in him. Open your eyes so you can see the promise of eternity. When you ask, he says, you'll get. Seek to find, you won't regret. That when he knocks, your heart will open. That with one drop, his heart has spoken. Just 3 words from the Father, so simple and true. I love you. Born again. The day I was born was no ordinary day. Angels sang and heaven rejoiced as praises rang out and were heard by all. Answered prayers were confirmed. Tears of joy flowed freely as my Father received me. On the day I was born, grace lifted up heavy spirits pressing upon a weary heart. Laughter erupted as rivers of living waters cleansed away years of pain for his gain. This was just the start when I surrendered my heart, beginning a new life, beginning a new life, beginning anew. On the day I was born, no clouds parted to reveal rays of light shining on the new creation. Rather, light radiated from my pores as scores of people were blinded by the new lamp that shone on a hill. Yet still, they asked, who is this babe who speaks of freedom, who shouts, salvation is near? My, how queer. She's not like the others, but certainly she's certain she's met the truth. On that day, the film and crust from my eyes were wiped clean so I could see, and with a guttural scream, I called my daddy's name. Haba! From darkness to light, the adjustment was rough. So I focused my eyes on the one I'd grow to love, and he held me in his arms as if for the first time. As my mind floods with memories from that day, I'm reminded of my birthday. Born of water and spirit, as my Savior breathed new life in me on the day I was born again. And now the last and the most recent one. It's not titled yet. Maybe you guys can help me title it. And it's the first time I'm reading it, so I hope you enjoy it. There's a contagion that's been spreading all throughout the world, grabbing hold of each and every woman, man, boy, and girl. It's overtaken homes of both the rich and the poor, black, white, gay, straight, whether young or seasoned with age. It looks past all this for sure. We can't manipulate it, but do facilitate it, passing it, unmasking it, demanding as it may be. This year has given us new eyes to better see, clearly, remarkably. With 20/20 vision, we can discern it, burn it out of our dejected souls, taking the broken things to make them whole, envisioning a future without masks, not the ones that are visible, but the ones we use to cover our iniquities. For fear we will be judged or rejected, unloved or unforgiven, when there has always been a vaccine for the illness we call sin. This child in a manger was not simply a story meant to be retold once a year, but is a remedy for our humanity. In Bethlehem, Messiah was born to bring good news and tidings of joy. Then the heavenly host of angels appeared, giving glory to God in the highest. On earth there was peace, to whom favor would rest. He's the babe that destroyed every virus. And salvation has come in the humblest of places. Although men couldn't see, he's the cure. So let's recognize the gift that God sent us this Christmas. After him, who could ask for much more? Though our world seems a mess and it seems hope is lost, his light is still shining onto us. Let us lift up our voices together as one and give praises to him. Glory, hallelujah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Alexa. Your poems just gives me chills all over my body. It's so powerful. And I hope that you and Bill and Mary, I think that Mary has to leave early, but I hope that you and Bill, and if Mary's around still, can read during our open mic to end us out later on. And I would love to hear that poem about the walls.
Oh, the walls. Oh.
Oh,
Maybe I can do it now because I do have to go.
you do?
Unfortunately.
Okay, do it now because.
I'll do it now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys letting me in. As always, you guys are awesome. The walls. A love that breaks down walls. That's the one you're talking about, right? The one I've read before. Yeah, here it is. Okay. A love that breaks down walls. There are invisible walls that separate by gender, culture, social class, and race. They've been created in our minds to bind us to falsities that we are more different than alike, when in fact we are from one tribe, that is humankind. Once, nothing was impossible for a people with common speech who built a tower to reach God in the heavenlies and almost did so through the sheer power of unity. It is fear alone, brothers and sisters, that keep us from recognizing our similarities. It is prejudice that hinders our understanding that we are one beautiful creation, meant to be in relationship with one another and with God. If we continue divided and in darkness, this ship will crash and sink, leaving future generations nothing to carry them onto solid ground. We must be bound to seek truth and see the walls clearly before us so that we can gather the tools we will need to break them down. They are walls of judgment that cause us to look past plank-filled eyes at our brother's speck and point accusing fingers outward rather than introspect. They are walls of bigotry that breed injustice and keep us from exposing hidden thoughts and hurts that could bring healing to our generation once brought into the light. They are walls of insecurity that prevent us from disturbing the status quo rather than reaching out to build bridges and grow. These walls of insecurity, these barriers of bias, intolerance, and hate are not intrinsically in our DNA. They are not sewn into chromosomal strands, making us so distinct. No, these walls were built brick by brick and propagated by an enemy who desires to see our demise. So let us be wise to recognize his lies. Our genetic code makes a resounding cry for harmony, community. Indeed, our souls desire to be connected as family. There is one body, one spirit, and we are called to one hope. There is one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, and he alone can break down these walls. So Lord, let your love break us down. Crack the foundations of our hearts. Drive out fear with perfect love. Let this generation have a brand new start. To build the bridges of love between all peoples, despite gender, culture, social class, and race, and bring us to a place of unity so that our differences we can embrace. So though we built them through ignorance, let them fall down once and for all, and do so through your mighty love, my God, the love that breaks down walls. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Alexa, and please continue to let your light shine.
Thank you. Thank you, Chip.
Okay, oh, we got more people coming in. So just give me one moment and let them in. Okay, for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to Poetry Street. And I would like to tell you about our website, poetrystreetontheroad.com. On poetrystreetontheroad.com, we have 9 episodes of Poetry Street on the Road. And they feature poets like Maggie Bloomfield, Susan Dingle, Bubby Brown, Steve Kramer, and Melissa Longo, Julie Scar. Oh, we love Julie. And I hope that she's here today. If not, maybe someone could call her and tell her to get online and come and see us. Gosh, so many. We have Nina Yavelle, and I'm on there also, but please check us out on poetrystreetontheroad.com. And just so you know, you can get the full bios of all of our poets on poetrystreet.com. Okay, once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, and our open mic is now officially open. Now we ask that you limit your presentation to 3 minutes, and that includes the whole presentation so that we can get everyone in that would like to read. And if you would like to read, please put your name and the location in the chat. Okay, so let's go with our first poet. Let's see. Speaking of Melissa Longo, I'm going to ask Melissa Longo, who started as an intern with Poetry Street and is now our social media person at Poetry Street, and we are so happy to have her. Melissa, I'm trying to unmute you. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, awesome. Oh, wow, you're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
As always.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. You look beautiful. Merry Kwanzaa. But hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Poetry Street appreciates it. And I'm going to share a poem as well as my kalimba to you all. And this is called Season of Unwinding. Luring myself into a trap, I start unwinding. How obtuse of me to ignore those around me, hindering what I need to let go of those that conspire and acquire. And that short poem is in the 2020 Poetry Marathon anthology. I don't have anything else to share, so I want to hear other people share.
I'm so surprised that you only had that one poem to share. I love your short poems, but we're so glad that you took the time to come and bring your friend to.
Oh, my partner. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna keep it moving, and Dr. James Banks is here, and we're gonna ask him to please share. And like I said earlier, Dr. Banks was also on the radio with us with Gianna Volpe and Bill Batcher and myself yesterday. Great fun. Banks.
Good evening, my friends. How is everybody? Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, period. You know, Happy Hanukkah. I want to make sure I include everything. Okay, I'm going to recite a very short poem about Kwanzaa. Well, not very short, but short. All right. And it begins like this. Since the birth of the Americas, oppression, slavery has been real. Then Malana Karenga awoke us to feel principles to grow our people. Umoja, Kujishagalia, Ujima, Ujama, Nia, Imani, and Kuumba. Principles to move us from evil, to work together and be strong, to share a common faith, to honor our ancestors, and to commit our children and faith. Kwanzaa is not a holiday for Christmas, when practiced forms a test called litmus. Ridding is the injuries left by slavery and hate. Changes to establish our new fate. Minority to majority, our new fate. Brothers and sisters living large, from slaves to leaders in charge. Kwanzaa, guidance that is bright, returning darkness to a shining light. United States, our history is no mystery. It is an echo. And remember two thoughts. When God said, let there be light, it means darkness was there also. And there's a reason why they tell you to cook your meat until it is my color. And it's because I am well done. In that regard, Barigani, I am done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Can you tell us how they can get on the Kwanzaa event tonight?
Yes, you may go to YouTube, or you can go to the African American Education and Cultural Festival Incorporated, and that's AAECFinc.org, and it will be there. And you come on at 7 p.m. and we're going to bring you a lot of entertainment and wonderful, wonderful information about the Kwanzaa ceremony, so you can help us celebrate the principles.
Can you repeat? Can you repeat that? Can you repeat the address, please, or the name?
And also, we want you to put it in the chat.
Okay, it's AAECF Inc. INC. All right. .org.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, James, for that, and thank you for your poem.
I just like, before I go, I'd like to just tell everyone that the director of the program was Chip Williford. He did a wonderful job putting all the things together. Things were coming from all over the place, and we had to rehearse it a few times. And our director, Chip, did a marvelous job. My compliments to him and his patience and his work. Thank you, Chip.
Well, I definitely appreciate that, James, so much. I appreciate you so much. And thanks again for your poem, and thank you, Dr. Love, for spreading the love all over Long Island and beyond, because we need love in this world from every source, because we are here together, and learning to live together is a wonderful thing. Our next person, next poet that I would like to bring on is Doreen Spungen, and she's one of our regulars, and I'm just so happy that she's here with us today to share her poetry. And she's from North Woodmere, New York.
Thank you, Chip. Good to be here. Hi, everybody. Good holidays to all. 3 poems. Interrupt me if it goes beyond the 3 minutes. I don't think it will. Waiting to awaken. Waiting can be a calming thing. Days fly like wily birds thinking they can trick time. The pleasure of a day of love, perhaps a good example. How quickly an overwintered soul thaws in the warmth of love, asleep for 100 years, some kind of princess dreaming as she waits for the next prince to rouse her. The risk of opening, the diving into a hidden aperture she created, or did he? As rusty time completes the task, making seasons come and go, readying for closures to wake and open once again. And this may be premature, I hope not. It's called Season Turning Vaccine. I picture the dancing, the singing into each other's ears, viral warnings dead and buried, the rest of us alive. Finally, the other side. Did you think, as so many did, as so many died, we'd never reach today, hugging to make up for lost time, for lost loves? Let's live. And the last one is called Silent Joy. My deepest hidden secret, not to be disclosed herein, engages me in annual trysting. No one will know my love for certain beginnings, my pain at endings. This eternal panoply, ever-turning planet delivers its surprises, and I duck or catch and write my odes, complaining of a thorn, a bite, a shiver, or my sweat. Yet you won't pin me down. The world, its overwhelming palette, takes me by surprise. I gasp or pout or cry as I discover magic in whatever month I wake. And when I face my exit, I expect more beauty. Even after sun and moon are done with me, won't there be, there must, a host of moments waiting, my painful losses, my silent joy. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Doreen. We really appreciate you. And I just want to apologize to everyone because we normally start Poetry Street with the land acknowledgement. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't had that much sleep, but I am here with you on this day to celebrate life. And I just want to acknowledge that we are on stolen land. And I apologize for not doing that first. We always like to open up with the land welcoming. I'm sorry for that. And now that I've done that, I would like to move on to our next poet, Gwen Nussbaum, would like to read. And Gwen, thank you so much for being here.
Hey,
And you have such a beautiful smile.
thank you so much. I'm really glad. Thanks for doing this. And I'm going to be reading from my chapbook, Normal War. And to be honest with you all, I thought about starting a poem about my mother and a tribute to her, but I'm going to definitely read something about her. I only have 3 minutes, so I'm going to change it around and do what poets do, revise. So this is called Desire Amid Triage. When the bomb hit, did you think the day would be so grand? Autumn leaves glistening in a sure morning sky. Amid sirens and triage teams, did you think children would be ready to learn, parents clinging to them? Pharmacies closed, but you could buy warm bagels at David's before lining up to give blood at Beth Israel. Within this hushed city of missing persons, did you think we would find each other with even more desire? Thanks, folks. And I read kind of fast, but I want to read this. This is a poem, and this is about my mother. My mother loved to eat, and she was always dieting. May she rest in peace. This is called Mantra. 1, to be thin, or fat gracefully without scales, surgery, loathing. 2, to be carved and erect as a city skyline, sculpted modern art, compact as a sushi on a miniature plate. 3, to be thin as though thin were a mantra, thin, om, thin, or the 11th commandment. 4, my mother sailed on ice cream banana boats, floating in hot fudge, vowing to diet tomorrow, pining to be thin, envying the thin, you could never be too thin. Vowing to diet tomorrow, she fingered sweet cream off the plastic bowl. Do I have time for one more? I do. Okay, so this is the one that I wanted to really read first. It's called Suburban Pioneer. I grew up in the country. It was suburban. What did I know of my mother's fear of darkness? I, who ridiculed her while tiptoeing through the darkened webs of our summer home before reaching the lamp, which I turned on with caution, then relief. Every night in August around 8, cicadas applauded the blackened sky, while I pondered what else was out there. Yet my mother, like any pioneer, walked upstairs, found the light, settling into the arms of night.
That was beautiful, and what a beautiful tribute to your mom.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to read. I appreciate
Guys,
it.
please know that you're always welcome here, and everyone's welcome here. No matter where you are, who you are, you're welcome here. If you're a beginner or just someone that likes poetry, or someone that's really, really well established, like Pramila Warren, who is one of my friends at Multicultural Solidarity Diversity Group. And if you don't mind, Pramila, would you please read for us?
Sure. Oh,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
very much. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Behind the mask. Are the eyes behind the mask happy, sad, angry? I try to wipe these windows to the soul to see better. I read about an Egyptian scientist who replicates emotions of veiled women in machines. That's a special skill. I'm more literal. I've stopped wearing makeup. Before the mask mandate, I used to put on my face like the 50s ladies did when they went shopping. These days, I ponder mask fashion. I stay away from black bandanas wrapping my face tight and caps covering my ears and forehead for fear of appearing sinister. People's readings of masks and faces behind coverings are bizarre. I try to find advantages. In company, I scowl, sneer, yawn, and make faces, breaking rules. My glasses show only one expression, open to interpretation. I stay genuine, an open book behind my mask.
Pramila, always a pleasure. Do you have one more that you'd like to share?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This one is called Jupiter-Saturn Romance. Their fling happened 800 years ago, but to them it feels like yesterday. I see them flirt, waiting to jump into the sack, celebrate their kiss with a Christmas star. Darn, am I the third wheel? Was it Galileo who stated that I am not the center of the universe? I have to settle with the three wise men, the astronomy buffs and the astrologers who predict the end of the pandemic, rejuvenation, sloughing off old skin, beating competitive spa ads, making old-fashioned romance hip. I unelatedly look at this pair, knowing this too shall pass.
Thank you so much, Pramila, for that. We really appreciate you. I just
Thank
want to
you.
remind everyone about our website, poetrystreetontheroad.com. We have 9 episodes of Poetry Street on the Road, which is pretty cool. We did that in 1 year, and it was exceptional. We filmed at the Carriage House at the Eastern Arts Complex, and it was a wonderful time. And we have Nina Uvell, who was one of the featured poets on Poetry Street on the Road. Because I had no sleep, I can't remember which episode it is, but I'm sure that Nina's going to tell us. Please, Nina Uvell.
I am Nina Uvell. Yes, that was great. That was I think number 3. That was Poetry Street on the Road, number 3. Anyway, I just want to recite one poem that I can only recite around this time of year. It's called Mid-January. In mid-January, while the pumpkins dry, Indian corn reflects ruby and yellow light. The gourds rest undisturbed, their puckered flesh sanded. In this mid-season of time, before the brimming winter has arrived, October's sun, still buttered, rest like amber in the mind. The air clears, saunters through the window, tastes of green, lilacs from another spring. The seasons turn while I continue on to dream of roses in this thistled vase, sipping honeyed tea, remembering. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nina. Nina, would you read one more poem? I know you have one in you, like the one.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
How about Mother Moon?
Thank you.
I tried to imagine this thin slice of Mother Moon rounded. For one flowing moment, I felt the fullness of her belly. Then she slipped back to the sliver she was, I waited patiently for the next phase.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Melanie Parrish from Reno, Nevada.
Wow.
Where I left some of my money. I'm gonna need to get it back. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get it back. May need your help, Melina, in that. I don't know if you can help me or not, but
I have no relationship with the slot machines, Chip. But
it's the blackjack table and roulette.
So do several of my friends.
Trust me, I didn't leave that much, but I left some.
And our economy thanks you. My name is Melanie Parrish. I am deeply grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so moved by the work. I've done a number of these Zoom meetings, and I've got a couple of books out. And what this room really confirms for me is what one of my teachers said. One of my teachers was Audre Lorde, and in the middle of the women's writing movement, she looked at this workshop group and she said, "You remember this: writing is solitary, but thinking is collective." And I think that that's really true. I love the way that artists and writers kind of help one another. So I'm going to stop talking. I've got two poems. This first one was written, I think, in the first or second year of the Trump administration, who is gratefully going. And it's called America the Beautiful. Suppose we rewrite patriotic. Suppose we reconsider America the Beautiful, the glorious and famous anthem the late 19th century left us. Suppose we take the "for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, from Atlantic to Pacific," and acknowledge the phallic stalks, purple peaks, and the Christian-approved mandate of manifest destiny that pushed us west. Suppose we agree the dominants projected all their white defects onto Black and brown people, sanctioned genocide and colonization from ocean to ocean, and later from earth to moon. Suppose we characterize this anthem as vainglorious and infamous as the egos that celebrate it today with their torchlit hate, their ignorance of the difference between sexual and sexual assault. Suppose we explore new pools of words, glens of words, high deserts of words to fashion out of fashion suggestions. Suppose instead of the large, we consider the patriotic of small, the marmots as well as the elk singed to ash that sky rises in summer fires, or pay attention to damselflies drowned in river rolling floods, moved from every 100 years to every other year. Suppose that variety and difference were celebrated as much as size, force, reach. Then perhaps America would not be building a border wall, but gates where first entry is given to those who hunger for possibility, or the mountain-bellied mothers who know we live the miracle of blood and the sea in each of us, from sea to shining sea.
That was so beautiful, Melanie, and thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, I'll tell you, Chip, I was so conflicted and just trying to brown out certain news. And I realized that, the goal for the rest of my life is to learn how to become a good ally. And that's it. So the second poem is called First Flowers in the Land of COVID-19. And it can be read in two columns on the page. and then as one poem, just reading each line straight across. I just really have appreciated so much of the music and the language that's been read today. First flowers in the land of COVID-19. Interrupting my pain, the tiger lily's bloom sounds her trumpet, mirrored in the curve the crescendo offers that only the bloom can hear in song for my dead. And the main theme, caught in the long leaf with the tempo of color and point of each petal toward the swallow-tailed butterfly, flaring this adagio for comfort, now for you, living this moment. Interrupting my pain and the main theme, the tiger lily's bloom caught in the long leaf sounds her trumpet with the tempo of color mirrored in the curve and point of each petal the crescendo offers toward the swallow-tailed butterfly that only the bloom can hear, flaring this adagio for comfort in song for my dead, now for you, living this moment. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Those poems, we really appreciate you. And, you know, if you are by, you know, one of those casinos, just tell them that, you know, Chip Williford needs his money back. It would be great. Okay, so we're gonna move on to this wonderful lady. She's like the mother of Poetry Street, Gladys Henderson. Such a wonderful lady, wonderful spirit, wonderful smile, just wonderful all the way around. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gladys Henderson.
I want to make sure that I'm unmuted. It looks like I am. And thanks, everyone. What a great place to be for the beginnings of the new year as we move out of this one. And well, wonderful just to be with you all and your wonderful voices, which really are a part of the divine as far as I'm concerned. So very quickly, I read this poem. It's about an aunt. It's an homage to all the other people who helped bring us into our own that maybe received no credit. A tender light, delicate sun on the trees this morning, like the fragile hands of my Aunt Grace, who would lift me up onto her lap and read comics aloud to me while I rested my head on her checkered apron, perfumed with starch, cinnamon, and her body. I would sit for hours drugged by her attention, a little juiced up 4-year-old overdosing on love. She never married, died before her noon, the duty-tied sibling of my father, whose light with Rembrandt formality moved along a path short-lived and dropped quietly into the unknown darkness. Today, I climbed the platform to board the train to Brooklyn, feel her nearness in the tender morning sun. I lean into her presence.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Gladys.
you. Thanks, Chip. Thank you, Chip.
And happy holidays to you. And again,
happy holidays to everyone.
To you all. Did you say you have another one?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Go right ahead.
Oh. Are you looking at me? Chip, are you speaking for me? Okay.
Yes, yeah, I said yes. Do you have another one? I'm sorry. Do you have another one?
I am so sorry. That was definitely me. Quickly then. Conversation on the first snowfall. Silence falls long before the first flakes. My small dog Blackie ran in circles, seemed to be the first to know. she would disappear into the drifts, only her wagging tail visible, fetching snowballs tossed by me, an impossible task of white on white, but she would emerge each time victorious, the taste of my hands on her eager tongue. The sides of the sleigh held me. I sat in the middle like a puffed up dove, 3 years old, hat drawn over my ears. Cousin Gordon sat behind me. He hugged my waist so we didn't fall out. Into my memory, I engraved the snowbound trees, sounds of the sleigh stealing through the streets, my brother's breath like dragon fire swallowed by the cold. Later, he cleared the steps to the house, raised a mound of snow taller than himself, 14 years old, tall like my father, built a snow fort, talked me into going inside. I marched in fearlessly. My blue snow suit squeaked with every step. I shivered from the cold. Ice flashed on the surface, a crystal dome smoothed by his hands. I was brave to please him. My father was a snow whistler, could tell you if it was going to snow, whistling into the wind. Head raised, he would offer 3 clear notes and count 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for the silence to return to his ears. 4 hours till it comes down hard. Better get wood for the fire, sissy. It all seems so far away. It is close, I would hear him say. Better get wood for the fire. It won't be long now.
Wow, just awesome.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you so much, Gladys, for that. And you know, I just love Gladys so much. And I want to take a break. I just want to acknowledge some guests here today, some very special people in my life. When I was 21, I left South Carolina, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and went to California. I thought I was going to die. And I never been to California. So what better place? And I thought I was going to die, but I found a family there called Love Center. And one of the ministers at Love Center is here today. And I know he's probably not going to speak, but and he's going to kill me, you know, for actually mentioning him. But his name is Larry Harper Short, and I just want to acknowledge him and say thank you. And Larry, if you want to say something, you can. And I'm going to ask you to unmute, and you know, so. But if not, you know, it's okay too. But I just want to acknowledge you and say thank you so much. And also I want to acknowledge Gianna Volpe from WLIW, NPR's NPR's radio station, the only NPR radio station on the east end of Long Island. And I know she's going to say something. I hope so. Let's see if she's still here. Okay.
Me too.
Oh, wow, she just left. Darn. Anyway, I did want to acknowledge Larry and Gianna. And Larry, if you want to speak, you can. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm probably going to be in trouble. But I just had to say, I really appreciate you so very much. And also, I would like to acknowledge Robert Bubby Brown, who is one of the founders of Poetry Street and one of the people that's also part of my family. And Bubby, can you please unmute and say something, read a poem? Can you unmute, Bubby? Bubby, I need you to unmute. There you go.
Muted.
Am I good?
Yes, you're great. Thank you.
I'm so happy to see everybody, and everybody's looking so healthy. And I wish you all God's blessings in the next coming year. Stay out of that Corona thing. Just be blessed. Just be blessed.
You better believe it.
I'm gonna really test. I'm gonna really test my memory chips. I'd like to do a Christmas poem that I had done a long time ago, and I'm trusting my faith that I can still do it. It's called A Phone Call from Santa, and it goes. It was a couple, maybe 3 weeks ago now. I was sitting home alone, and there came this friendly ding-a-ling on my trusty telephone. So I got up from my easy chair, set my Kool-Aid on the floor, and brought the phone up to my ear just to see what was the score. Lo and behold, and holy smokes, I was taken aback, aghast. 'Twas my annual call from old St. Nick. Man, how time flies past. He said, "How you doing, Bubby?" And I told him I was fine, but it sure is getting scary, this flying by of time. But what was more disheartening, there was a touch of sadness in his voice. Compelled to find the problem, it seemed I had no choice. So I said, "Yo, Chris, what's happening? You don't sound quite yourself. Is Rudolph down with hoof and mouth, or problems with an elf? Or maybe it's this global warming that's giving you a pain. I mean, it's tough to land a loaded sled in a warm December rain, especially since a sled was built for snow. We'll get some soon. If not, you better give up those runners and order some pontoons." He said, "Whoa, just hold on, Bubby. It's more serious than that. It's starvation and war and homeless folks. It's drugs and AIDS and it's crack. And it seems like the good and decent folk are fighting it hand and fist. But seems like every time they gain us, that fate gives them an ugly twist. Then there's this other ugly thing, folks fighting to be on top, lying to friends, backstabbing others. That stuff has got to stop. And it's not that I have a problem with success. I find no fault in that. But use your God-given gifts and talents and not somebody else's back." Now I said, "Whoa, just hold on, Chris. Things can't be that bad." Because I was sitting there feeling pretty good. Now you got me feeling sad. But if what you say has some substance, if what you say is true, just tell me how I can lend a hand. Tell me what I should do. He said, "Bubby, your part is easy. That's why I made the call. Just spread the news I give to you. Tell one, tell some, tell all, tell everybody that Christmas is a season of good cheer that lasts from December to December, 12 months of the year. Tell them it's more than exchanging gifts and singing a Yuletide tune. I mean, why kiss me under the mistletoe now, then don't speak to me in June?" So I made Chris the promise that I would do my part, and I'm asking you all to lend a hand, at least give me a good start. Then, by golly, we'll show them. We'll show everybody how it's done. We'll show them that Christmas is about more than Visa bills. It's time to have some fun. So Merry Christmas from me and Chris. Be healthy, be happy, good cheer. May all of your Christmas dreams come true. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
What a memory. What a memory you have, Bubby. You have a great memory.
And there's a couple chips still working up there.
That was
definitely.
so,
Whatever you're doing.
That was so awesome, Bubby, and thank you so much for that. Joe Boswell just joined us. Hi, Joe. How are you? And are you going to share a poem with us?
Hi, I would love to. I live in Camas, Washington, which is close to And Susan Dingle, we've met only online since she moved out here, and I've invited her to some of my readings online, and she invited me to join you, but today was my family Christmas, so I'm so sorry to rudely be joining you over halfway through. But yeah, I'm here and I'll read at the time. Yeah.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, already. All right, cool. Okay, is it 5 minutes? Is that right? 3 minutes.
3 minutes, please.
Perfect. Okay. I will read. I just had a book published this summer called Cosmic Pockets. It's from Fernwood Press, and it's giant. It's like a coffee table book. It's my photography along with my poetry. So this poem is called Christmas 2040. It comes with this photo. Christmas 2040 Annual Claus Holiday Newsletter. Greetings from the South Pole. Mother Claus and I have just finished unpacking our cottage and find the new igloo quite cozy despite the horde of tardigrades thawing on our hearth. My workshop was completed before summer melted the last Arctic ice from our beloved North Pole. Though some ice will return each winter, this migration seemed the most practical solution to Earth's warming core. Of course, the move brings new challenges, like remaining undiscovered despite our new fixed location, penguin droppings, and insomnia, now that I'm not gliding to sleep on shifting sheets of ice. We migrated out of necessity, not without cost, exchanging auroras and losing Polaris as our guiding light. Gratitude prevails, though, having saved so much by converting sleigh into makeshift ark, flooding it with narwhal, caribou, walruses, polar bears, kraken, and our secret stash of unicorns, along with the elves and reindeer, praying we all adapt to our polarly opposite ecosystem. Certainly, you've seen the headlines. Santa Claus confronts climate change, and indeed, we've ramped up our efforts on multiple fronts. In previous centuries, annual chimney Q-tipping was my penance for leaving lumps of coal in naughty stockings. Our new policy plants a tree in honor of each hooligan, sending emails to let them know their shenanigans have helped the planet. Redefinition of nice now includes heroics in terms of planetary kindness, quick yet efficient hand washing, neighborhood trash pickup parties, coloring on both sides of the paper, and limited cheeseburger consumption. My Lady Christmas has devoted herself to methane reduction and had some solid breakthroughs this year in whipping up some delicious seaweed licorice laced with her infamous flying mushroom sprinkles. Along with an anti-methanogen vaccine, it has proved to reduce gas even in our most belchy friend, Blitzen. The unicorns broke into our lab one night, resulting in a scene so magical we added them to our roster of soaring assistants. Winging walruses, however, was no laughing matter and shan't be repeated. We've relied solely on clean energy to power sleigh since 2003's Central Park debacle. What has been kept under wraps is that decades ago, Elon Musk recruited Papa Elf as stealth geoengineering research lead, tasked with healing our anthropogenic atmospheric mess. Pride fills my belly as I get to finally announce he has successfully retrofitted my Ruby chariot. Beginning this new year, the unicorns and reindeer will take shifts flying through the atmosphere, sleigh battling invisible death overhead through carbon capture, cool, then store in saline aquifers down below Antarctica's permafrost. Perhaps children will weep at pared down gifts, our priorities altered, immediate happiness granted in trinkets diminished. But I hope they grow into adults appreciative of jolly old St. Nick's boon of lavishingly long-term livable Mother Earth. Please note my change of address. Mail delivered to the Arctic Circle will not be forwarded as the post office there has sunk. Merry climate change and ho, 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 Kris Kringle.
Wow, that was really, really clever. Thank you so much, Joe, for sharing. I would like to, yeah, I would like to go to our founder, Susan Dingle, and she is from Susan. You could tell everyone where
Down
you're
the
from.
street from Joe.
Since you left us here, you know, and you look so beautiful, and outside of Washington State just must be treating you so well, and I'm jealous just a little bit.
I'm so happy to be here. I want to just acknowledge Joe. Thank you, Joe, for coming on. So exciting that we are now bi-coastal poetry street. Yes! Today, I am going to read poems by two sisters. And I'm going to read first a poem by Anne Shelley. This is a poem called The Turning. The Turning by Anne Shelley. I had to stop fighting with the trees since I loved them so. I wanted them to stay in their warm summer dress, but only their solemn trunks remained the same. The fickle leaves trembled and grew and changed from tint to green, from green to brazen. This dazzling progression thrilled me so, but that last lustful thrust a warning, because I knew what follows. For then they throw themselves upon the ground, gone from the sturdy home that reared them. I felt my friends betrayed me so. It was hard to learn about the times we call the seasons. That beauty, fully formed, would never live forever. But I could not weep on each October. They did their best, the lovely trees. I need a longer season to forgive, that I will turn and join the leaves, that summer is for living things.
That was awesome. Thank you, Susan. You have another one?
I do, and this is from the sister of Anne Shelley, our own co-host, Maggie Bloomfield.
And assistant director of Poetry Street.
Absolutely. And also my BFF. This is called Memory is My Tree Ornament by Maggie Bloomfield. Memory is my tree ornament. Paper chains from my daughter's kindergarten drape the ceramic bear she painted at the Children's Aid Society in 1987. Adjacent to a golden ship and fragile glass dolphin, she begged at the Christmas store on the North Shore. There is my red-wheeled penny farthing, gifted me by a fellow actor from a show I don't recall. That one-year Hallmark baby ornament from a vanished friend who vowed love forever. Metal and glass angels, lanterns, bells, all bequeathed by my late cousin when I would so much rather have kept him. A mix of homely and gorgeous trinkets, each an old friend. A few glass miniatures remain from our cramped village apartment tree-lets, along with the bear on a thimble, gift of an adorable babysitter, and the rose-splashed silk fan crafted by my talented, sober friend. Stained glass hummingbirds from who knows where catch the sun for 3 weeks as I kneel at my green and glorious totem each morning, thanking God for evidence of chapters, volumes, this glittering memoir.
Thank you so much for reading those two poems from Anne Shelley and our very own Maggie Bloomfield. You just heard and saw Susan Dingle, our founder, mastermind of Poetry Street, who I'm so grateful for. I would like to, before I bring Bill back on, if there's anyone else that would like to read a poem, please let me know now. And basically, you can let me know by just putting your name in the chat. And in the meantime, I will read up one poem. This poem is entitled Moments with Dad. And I'm going to read it. My dad's birthday was Christmas Eve. We lost him 6 years ago, and he's terribly missed. The poem is called Moments with Dad. As the moon shines through the evening darkness, the air hits heavy even on the thickest layer of my skin. Awakening my heart that beats rapidly within my chest, I am reminded I'm alive. As tears trail down my face, I remember the smiles and laughter of happier times when Dad would take me and my siblings all in his arms and make everything all right. God, I wish he was here tonight, alive and well, as I look at this beautiful moon shining so bright. Do you wonder about tomorrow? Regret the day before, or do you smile in gratitude? I like to think in times like this, tomorrow I'll still be here, but the truth is, I don't know when I too shall depart. So tonight I will enjoy the moon as it awakens consciousness and warms my heart. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to first of all thank all of our featured poets tonight, Mary Seymour, Alexa Bello, and Bill Batcher, who will close us out. And
Chip, I'd like to read a poem.
Oh, yes, please. Oh my God, how could I forget Elaine? Elaine, we love you. We love you.
I love you too, all.
That.
This has been such a wonderful experience. Okay, it's not too long a poem. This poem is about not losing sight of those we'll always love and who are no longer with us. So the title of the poem is Visions of Love. Visions of love I see in the earthly things. If you are the bird in the tree, let me listen to you sing, caring less if I was there, scouting out your prey, dipping swiftly with an aim, fly away with wings spread, not even looking back, not saying goodbye. If you are the fish in the sea, let me frolic by your side, leaving a trail of glitter, splashing gracefully, diving to the sand below, swim away fast and free, not looking back, not saying goodbye. If you are a cloud in the sky, form ballet shapes up high, raining tears of days gone by, thundering out loud, shading the sun's hot glare, blow away brave and proud, not looking back, not saying goodbye. If you are the child at lakeside, whistle with the wind chimes, hushing sorrow's daily hymn, dreaming with no fear, smiling as you pile stones to skip across the pond, not looking back, no time to say goodbye. From a cavern dome, long crystals grow. That glow of hope lights your door, where I share a bedtime tale and cradle you once more. Living with the angels, majestically you soar. Visions of love I see all around me. Thank you.
And thank you so much. And once again, we want to remind everyone about our website, poetrystreetontheroad.com. We have 9 episodes of Poetry Street on the Road, and Susan Dingle was episode number 9, and that was just season 1. And I'm looking forward to doing season 2 and 3 and 4 and on and on. And we thank you so much for being here. Bill Batcher is coming up next, and then I'll come back and give our closing remarks. Bill Batcher.
Okay. First, I'd like to make a quick announcement. Next September, believe it or not, is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And with that in mind, Tammy Nuzzle-Morgan and I put together an anthology of poems about 9/11. The subtitle is 100 Poets Remember 9/11. We got an overwhelming response to our call for submissions, and we actually accepted over 100 poets. And so if you're interested, it's available on the Lulu bookstore website. You would just do a Google search with the words Lulu and the words Never Forgotten, and you could throw in my name, Batcher, and you'll get to it. Okay, one last poem. You know, Luke tells us that there was no room at the inn, and so it got me thinking about this innkeeper who was, and I thought about when he still had some vacancies. This is called the Innkeepers Accommodations. I've got a room by the door with a real wooden floor and a lamp that will last through the night. I've got a room up the stair that 8 people can share, and a small anteroom to the right. Now, just off the hall, if you're not very tall, there's a real cozy spot to lie down. You can sleep on the porch, where you won't need a torch. You'll be able to see the whole town. I put way in the back, well, sort of a shack. Huh, you certainly won't want to sleep there, but there's plenty of hay, so your horses can stay with the cattle and sheep that I keep there. I positioned it well so the noise and the smell won't ever unsettle my guest. What takes place in the manger tonight, my dear stranger, will never disturb your night's rest. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Bill, for that. I really appreciate you. Just want to tell everyone that next month, Poetry Street on the Road, Poetry Street on the Road will feature our own Nina Yavelle and Travis Madison and Gladys Henderson, who you just heard today. And we are just so very excited about that. And also, I want to
Chip, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Next month has 5 Saturdays. So when is it going to be?
Well, thank you so much for that. Poetry Street is always the last Saturday of the month.
Okay.
And thank you for that, Bill. You know, I just love my community of great poems and people who keep me on track, because I definitely need that. Oh gosh, that rhymed. Okay, so please join us for our Kwanzaa celebration, the AAECF organization, which is the African American Educational Cultural Festival. We're having a Kwanzaa celebration at 7:00 p.m. and we ask that you please join us for that. And you could just go on the AAECFinc.org website and get the information on that. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much. I want you all to please be safe, wear your mask, stay home like we are now. We can still be together at home in our own homes, but we're together. But please stay safe because you need to stay well because I need you. Okay, thank you so much and have a wonderful holiday season and good night.